Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world and whatever time you are watching us in the world. Welcome to the third and final day of Cherish, the free 3-day masterclass, where we are diving into the ecosystem of relationships. I am so excited to be here today. I'm a little sad because it's the final one. I always have a little bit of, is it separation anxiety? I don't really know. I always get a little bit sad when it's the final day of any of my programs. But today here in Australia right now, it is Valentine's Day. This is very purposely planned to finish on Valentine's Day. If you believe in Valentine's Day, the day of love. And if you do, what I want for you today, what I send to you today is an explosion of love for you. An explosion of self-love. That is what I am sending you today. You are an exceptional human being. You're a beautiful human being. You are worthy for the only reason being you were born. You were born worthy. Nothing has changed. And I just wish everything for you moving forward. So have the most beautiful Valentine's Day. And if you do, if this is a date that you enjoy, that you like, then go and do something today that fills you with self-love. Okay, so the story so far, we're on our final day. What have we been talking about until now? Now, if you are here with me live, I'm so sorry. We've already said hello before we started the recording, but remember, open the chat box. Let me know how you are today. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you've got any questions around the home play, if you've enjoyed it. Maybe you haven't had a chance to get to it yet. There was a lot yesterday for a free masterclass. There was a lot of home play. Even I acknowledged there was a lot of home play. So you may have got to some or not others, not other questions. That's absolutely fine. But keep the chat box open today and contribute to the conversation, ask questions as we go along. So the areas or the principles or the topics that we've been talking about so far, we live in an ecosystem of relationships. Everything you've created in your life, there are very little things we create in life that aren't relationship, that aren't linked or integrated with somebody else in the world. Might even be a stranger, but usually it's someone we know, sometimes we're close to them, sometimes we work with them, sometimes they're part of our family or our friendship group, or it's a new person we've just met, a business colleague, or I've got a client right now who's just had a business partner flow in like magic. As that happens in the Sky High coaching world, just boom, this man appeared, and they're doing some incredible work business-wise together. So our relationships look so different in different areas of our life, but the ecosystem, or the epicenter of the ecosystem, is us. It all starts with us and how we feel about and treat and think about ourselves. To cherish means to protect and nurture. I'm hoping now, after these 3 days, you will start to be able to see how you may be protecting your heart rather than nurturing your heart, which helps your heart open and become more receptive to opportunities and possibilities, connections and love in your life. How we often, this is the finding ourselves back in deja vu. This is the why does this always happen to me scenario. We've talked about that. Why we may be attracting the same situations, people, events into our lives. Now this has and I asked you to become aware of that and even to look back a little. Now that has a duality, because not only do we want to look back at, okay, this has happened to me again, I don't enjoy this. Okay, why may this be happening to me again? What's here for me to learn? But also looking back over your life at those things that are wonderful that show up in your life over and over again, the wonderful people, opportunities, possibilities, and events that flow into your life. And you may want to have a look at those too. Okay, I've met this wonderful kind of person again. Wow, I wonder what I've been doing. If I look and I look closely and I become more conscious and mindful, can I see what I've been doing to attract these beautiful people into my life? So we want to look at it both ways. We've got a comment. For me, that is the key. My relationship with myself and how I feel about myself. Yes, 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 yes. You are the epicenter. You get it. You get it. So often we think relationships are about everybody else. Actually, I will tell you all, if you've watched the replay from yesterday or you were live yesterday, I told a story about how I'd had something 15 minutes before our call yesterday. I don't want to say happen to me, happen around me, happen for me, to do with a family dynamic. Before I jumped on this call, I've sat on it for a little while because I didn't want to I really wanted to be able to handle my emotions and not have the conversation with my family member while those emotions were still high. Because when our emotions are high, critical thinking is low. Intelligent thinking is low. Rational thinking is low. If you write that down. So remember we talked about when our emotions are high, we go into fight, flee, or freeze. So we're not thinking. It's not a time for our brain to switch on and think rationally or intellectually. Oh, I wonder how many steps it will take for me to get away from this saber-toothed tiger. And if I run at a speed of 5.2 kilometers per hour and it can run at a speed of, right? Just run. We're not doing that, right? So we're not critical thinking and we're not wired that way. We're wired to fight, freeze, or run. That's what we're wired to do. So we want, and it's good because we're talking about the role our emotions play. So I wanted those emotions that I told you about yesterday to drop. I needed to work through them, or I wanted to work through them. And then I actually remember I told you all I wanted to do was march down to my husband and have a rant and a rave, rally my army, have someone validate my feelings, tell me I'm right. I actually haven't told him at all. I decided not to. I didn't even repeat it. I decided it was not that big a deal. But then today, when I felt better, the emotions were dispersed, it was gone. I've just had on the phone a really beautiful conversation with that family member and we got it all sorted out. And I opened the conversation, I contacted him and I was seeking to understand. Whereas if I think if I had, and in the past, oh my gosh, in the past, it would have been a fight. Believe me, I've changed. And that's a good feeling too. For those of you who have transformed in various areas of your lives before, what a great feeling that is. When the situation comes up again or a similar situation comes up again and you handle it differently and you're like, yes, yes, I have, right? You know, you're just going to get given something harder next time, but it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling. So we want to really understand the role our emotions play in the way we treat ourselves and the things we do for ourselves, right? Because we talked about that. So often we hold ourselves back from our full potential, from our dreams and desires, from the life that we dream about, that we can see, touch, feel, taste, hear. That little that little dream that has been knocking on you for years and years, knocking at you, right? It's not going away. It's not going anywhere, right? So looking at our emotions and how they affect the way we're showing up in the world for ourselves and also for others in our relationships. We looked at the role of fear and how fear, there are so many emotions. We talked about the importance of being able to name the actual emotions you're going through, not I feel bad, I feel good, but being able to really pinpoint the actual emotion. But what I wanted to really zone in on in this 3 days was the biggest one, which is fear. And it is the one that can take over because it's so primal and it's so wired in us. And we had to talk about how we can start to play with that fear and move through that fear, and how we can start to look at it a little differently. And then we talked about social contracts. So how a lot of us in the world, not everyone, but a lot of us in the world, we're very good at social contracts. We follow the law. We do everything right, we're supposed to do. And we also have showers and wash our hair and wear deodorant and make sure our clothes aren't too dirty, right? Because we wouldn't want to offend anybody. But we never stop to think about who we are when we go out into the world, which is also a social contract. Have you signed that social contract of, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I'm the best version of myself today before I subject you to me? Right? But we don't. We get out of bed the wrong way and we stub our toe, and then the coffee machine breaks, and then we leave the house in a grumpy mood and think it's okay to be grumpy to everyone who appears in our path. So I'm just going to have a little sip of water. What are we going to do today? This is Cherish Act 3. Cherishing ourselves, Act 3, the final act. We're going to be talking about courageous conversations, also known as assertive conversations or authentic conversations. You may have heard of that before as well. We're going to talk about the foundation, how you can set the foundation of a courageous conversation. Because being able to be clear, I'll get to it. Don't go there now. Then I've got 3 special offers for you only. Now, 2 of them I've never offered before. And there's no guarantee I'll ever offer again. So I have long-term clients who are very clever and always sign up for masterclasses because they know there's going to be an offer. It's going to be really good and it's going to be better than what's on the website, right? And it's going to be better than when I launch to the rest of the community. So we've got 3. If you want to continue cherishing yourself, cherishing your heart, cherishing your life, cherishing your relationships, hang around for those special offers. If not, that's fine too. And then I have the champagne bucket of abundance here. And I'm actually going to draw 4 prizes today. 4, 1 never feels enough. Never feels enough. So we're going to have 3 kind of minor prizes, if you like, and then the prize draw for that's valued at $2,222. Let's go. Let's go. Let's not delay. So today we're talking about stepping out of that fear and into our courage, cultivating more courage to have those conversations, to speak up. And I've been doing this for a long time. I've been practicing this for a long time. I do this. I walk side by side with my clients. We walk beside each other. No one's better than anybody. We're the same. We just have different power, but we walk side by side. And I'm the same as you, that even though I've practiced this a lot and I've done this a lot, even having that conversation this morning took courage. It took courage. I could still feel it. He might get angry at you. And I had to say, so what? If I do this the right way, if I go about this the right way and my intention is good, then gets mad, he gets mad. I'm not responsible for his emotions as long as I'm the best version of me and I've cleared my emotions, right? I'm not letting fear get in the way. So I am clear and I am kind. I am saying what I wish to say. So I really had to step into my courage, and that's what we're here to talk about today. So we're here to talk about courageous communication. So communication comes in various forms. Now, I hope you've got your piece of paper and your pen ready, because start to pull out the parts that resonate with you and leave the rest. And we know our minds are distraction machines. They're experts at it. This is why I encourage you, if you're here live, to keep the chat box open, keep plugging in, keep writing things. This is going to keep your mind engaged in the conversation. Remember the 3 levels of learning. We listen, but then we listen and we understand. Oh, we think a bit more about it, we stay engaged, and then we implement. So after this is over, this is all going to be over to you to implement. But keep making notes. I strongly encourage you, if you're here live, jump in the chat box. It's going to keep you engaged. So there's verbal and there's non-verbal. Non-verbal such as body language, listening, active listening, email, like written communication. There's informal and there's formal. So informal is usually in our personal lives, formal is in our professional lives, and sometimes they can look a little different depending on the type of environment you work in. We make requests. We want to often persuade someone to do something for us or do something with us, or we want to negotiate, or we want to negotiate. Sometimes we want to deliver feedback. We often, when we think of feedback, as we discussed yesterday, we go straight into into our professional world, and we think about performance feedback and leadership and 360 feedback. But the conversation I had with my family member today was giving feedback. It was, I thought this was happening. It changed. That didn't work. I wasn't notified. I found out from a third party. That wasn't okay. So I was delivering feedback, but I was doing it in a way while I was also seeking to understand, asking a lot of questions. We want to lead and inspire others, right? We want to inform. We might want to inform someone of something. It's just really a one-way communication. I'm just informing you of something. We want to reply. We want to accept or decline maybe an invitation to an event or a party, or it could be a job offer, it could be a promotion, it could be a date. Will you come on a date with me, right? So, or you go on a date with someone and they ask you out again, and you're in a position where you're accepting or declining. You may want to disagree. Someone may present something to you and you think, I can't sit here and say, I agree with this, I don't. So there is an art to that also, to disagree without creating huge conflict. Now, I'm sure there's more. That's just the list I have for you today. Oh, excellent. Before we dive in, sometimes we think that things, this is a comment, sometimes we think that things happen to me, yes, and go into victim mode and react rather than respond with grace and courage, yes. And that is because we have when we react rather than respond, we're not waiting for our emotions to drop. Our emotions have taken over the frontal vortex lobe of your brain, front part of your brain, which is the rational, logical part. Intelligent thinking has shut down. The lights are off because it is not required to run away from the saber-toothed tiger. Everything else in your body is getting ready to run. So this is when we say things and then regret it. 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, an hour later, 3 hours later, oh, I shouldn't have said that, right? Because now our intelligent mind the danger's gone. Our intelligent mind, the light's been switched back on and it's gone. Really? Did you really say that while I wasn't here? Oh, you shouldn't be allowed to speak unless my light's on, right? So we want to wait, like I was just talking, we want to wait for that emotion to drop. So we're not reacting. We can then clearly respond. So the struggles I see in my work and the struggles I've had myself. The main ones around communication are saying no with elegance and grace. And just start to think about, wake your mind up. If you've got your piece of paper and your pen out, grab it, get ready. As I'm going through these, start to think about which fear would be in play. If I struggle to say no with elegance and grace, what fear may be in play? And if we struggle to say no, some people call it people pleasing. I'm a people pleaser. If we're a people pleaser, what fears may be arising? We struggle to ask for our needs and desires to be met. Now, if I'm struggling to ask someone to meet my needs and desires, like I had to this morning, that was not okay. Can we do it differently next time, please? Which is my desire and my need. If we're afraid to do that, if we struggle to do that, what fears may be in play? And the other thing I work a lot on with my clients and myself is creating boundaries. Boundaries are one of the most misunderstood principles when it comes to relationships. A boundary isn't punishing someone. A boundary isn't cutting someone off. That is not a boundary, right? So if you hear it all the time, yes, well, I'm just not talking to her anymore because I had to create a boundary. Well, I've told him that he is not to do that anymore. And if he does, I will leave him because I had to create a boundary. An ultimatum isn't a boundary. And punishment isn't a boundary, and cutting someone off isn't a boundary. So if that resonates at all with you, welcome, welcome. You're in very good company, right? Because it's misunderstood. I misunderstood it for a long time. It's misunderstood by a lot of people. If you're struggling to create boundaries, what fear may be in play? Yes, that so resonates. It's an area I'm continually working on as well. Yes, yes, beautiful. I love that you said continually working on rather than I can't do that. Perfect, perfect. Continually working on. So when you want to have an authentic or a courageous conversation, whether it's email, whether it's written, whether it's verbal, there's a lot of argument for verbal being sometimes written. We can get our thoughts straight and we can write it and we can look at it again. And there are definitely some relationships I'm in and with particular people that I know if I do this, if I write this down and send it to them, they have time to process it and they respond, that they're better in their response. Then there's other people I'm very comfortable sitting down and having a conversation with. So this isn't a one size fits all. We're all individuals. We're all different. All of us, we're all unique. We're all different. And if you are really in touch with your relationships, if you're really in touch with the people in your life, if you really pay attention, you will know who is better with each form of communication, or which communication channel. So here's where you will begin, because it all starts with you, right? So as we've just talked about 5 minutes ago. So you might want to look at the energetics of this. So this happened to me. Oh, here it is again. Oh, here it is again. This happened to me last year. This happened to me last week. This happened to me. I'm saying to me, but that's what we think. This happened to me. This happened to me last month. This happened to me. Let's flick it or flip it. Okay, this happened for me last week, last month, last year. Let me look at it. What did I do? And did it work? Okay, so let the past turn to wisdom. What did I do and did it work? No, it didn't. Okay, what if I'll try something different? Yes, it did work. Great, that was the lesson. That's what I learned. That's what I implemented, so I'm going to implement that again. It worked. Also, you might want to look at the magnetics. So not only am I giving out this frequency so I've become a match for this, but also thinking about another part of energetics, magnetism, is how do you respond? And someone talked about this, I think, on day 1, had a fear of criticism, a fear of feedback. How do you respond when you're told no? How do you respond when you're rejected? How do you respond when you're given feedback? How do you respond when someone says to you, hey, I didn't like the way you did this. Hey, I didn't love the way you spoke to me then. Hey, I don't love what that conversation the two of us had last week. Can we try something different next time we don't agree? So how do you respond? Because you're going to become an energetic match to someone who responds the same way. Does that make sense? So if you think, okay, I really liked this person. I asked them to go on a second date with me. They said no. I respected it. I thanked them for their honesty. I thanked them for their time. I wished them the best life in the world, and off we went. Well, then the next time you're going to say no thank you to someone, you're going to be less fearful of it, because you wouldn't react badly, so why would they? So thinking about that, that's the other side, that's another part of energetics. Look at where your emotions are. So we just talked about, am I about to react or respond? What are my emotions doing right now? So last night, I was irritated, annoyed, angry. I felt unseen, unheard, invisible, disrespected. I told you all these things yesterday. Now, I'm very aware, self-aware. So the first core component of emotional intelligence, as we spoke of yesterday, is self-awareness, which is why I wanted you to move through your day and start naming your emotions. That was part of your home play. How self-aware are you of your emotions? So I knew that if I was feeling all these things, then my rational thinking is not on. I think I'm being rational, and I think I'm being intelligent, and I think it's logical, but it can't be, because my emotions are too high. Emotions are high, rational, intelligent, logical thinking is low. It's just how you're made. So I had to wait for those, and I had the luxury of waiting for those emotions to drop. But remember, people with very elevated emotional intelligence can do this in the moment. At work, leading a team, something's gone wrong with the project, someone's made a mistake, it's going to cost thousands. People with elevated emotional intelligence can do this in an instant. They can feel those emotions come up and put them aside. This is what we're aiming for in the moment. Your intention is almost everything. And this is something I learned a few years ago, and I've trialed it and I've shared it with my clients, and they've trialed it. And what we've discovered is you can pretty much say anything as long as the intention is pure. So if your intention is one of cherishing, nourishing, nurturing the relationship, if your intention is kindness, if your intention is kindness, if your intention is to come together, to bring the relationship closer together, not tearing it apart, if your intention is to put something on the table that you've both been tiptoeing around, there's the elephant in the room, they call it. If your intention is pure and good, it really doesn't matter what you say, because think about it. my intention's pure, my intention's good, my intention's loving, my intention's nurturing, it's cherishing, it's kind, that is going to come through. That is going to come through in your communication. Another comment, yes, that was a revelation to me too, using cosmic heart energy and intention. Yes, it's amazing how the other person can feel the energy behind your intention. Yes, it's amazing how the other person can feel the energy behind your intention. Yes, and you can feel the energy behind someone else's intention. Now, in my world, I tend to attract, I'm an energetic match for highly sensitive people because I'm a highly sensitive person. Now, that means that there's very few of us on the planet. I think it's 5 to 10%. There's 5 to 10% highly sensitive humans on the planet. We're very intuitive. We feel other people's energies and intention very easily. So if that sounds familiar to you and you're like, whoa, that is me, I can feel things other people can't feel. I can intuit things other people can't intuit. I can sit at dinner parties and watch a couple and then leave and say to my husband in the car on the way home, oh, I think they're in trouble. And he'll say, what are you talking about? They were absolutely fine. And then we hear the next day they're separating. Like we can pick up on things. So if that sounds like you, there are ways, because sometimes this can be quite frustrating because we can feel too much energy and too much of other people's feelings and emotions. So there is a way to harness that, and there is a way to live as a highly sensitive person without taking on all those other people's intentions and energy. Let me know if you need some assistance with that, or if you'd like some assistance with that. So a la Brene Brown, one of my heroines, clear is kind, unclear is unkind. When we are not used to asking for what we want, need, desire, when we are not used to saying no with elegance and grace, when we're not used to communicating our true thoughts, we get a bit wishy-washy. We see this a lot in the workplace, in performance feedback. And I work with a lot of leaders, and we do a lot of work on this because they come and tell me they've given someone performance feedback and the person hasn't changed or lifted their game. Well, what did you say? Well, I didn't want to hurt their feelings and I didn't want them to get upset, which is normal, right? And then when I get them to absolutely tell me everything they said, I'm usually saying back to them, well, I wouldn't have understood that either. Would you? So clear is kind. And there, remember, if intention is good, if intention is pure. So when we're giving someone performance feedback, we're often so worried about ourselves. What if they don't like me? What if I'm terrible at this? I'm so bad in this role. I'm such a fraud. I shouldn't be here. I don't know what I'm doing. My God, they're going to hate me. And then they're going to go and tell everyone, and everyone in the team's going to hate me, right? We get so worked up in ourselves. Performance feedback is a pure intention. I want you to do better because I want you to be happier and I want you to perform. And if you perform, well, imagine being, maybe it has been you before, being the person who isn't performing. They're not happy. How can they be? Right? I was the person, I told you the story about my first role, who wasn't performing, and I was always in trouble. That wasn't a fun place for me to work. So if someone had given me some clear and kind feedback, I may have been able to work with that. So performance feedback, your intention can be good and pure and kind. And it's good for everybody. And if the role isn't for them, well, then we help them move on. And that's also kind, because help them move on to somewhere where they'll be happy. Seek agreements. So there's agreements versus expectations. If you want to watch a video on that, there is one on my YouTube channel and also on my website under the Learn tab. Agreements versus expectations. We tend to walk around expecting things from people. And when they don't perform as to our expectations, and expectations is putting someone on a pedestal. And the problem with putting someone on a pedestal is the only way to go is down. Right? Now, I have been on both sides. I've been put on a pedestal, and I've had someone put expectations on me that I didn't realize were being put on me more than once, because a lot of people do this. And then when I didn't meet the expectation that I didn't know had been placed on me, and I toppled down off the pedestal, then that person was really disappointed in me, and then it caused a whole lot of grief. And I've also been the person, before I understood what I understand now, I've also been the person who puts expectations on somebody. And then when they didn't meet them because they actually didn't know they were there, I was disappointed. And then it caused a whole lot of grief. So seek agreements. So no matter what kind of conversation you're having and with who, romantic conversation, family conversation, which I had this morning, professional workplace conversation with a friend, seek an agreement. Seek an agreement. Can we agree that this is what we'll do moving forward? Even if it's you, that's more, that's really feedback. You might just be I love that you've invited me to your party this Friday night. I'm away for work. I fly in Thursday morning, let's say Friday morning. I fly in Friday morning. I really want to say yes to your party, but I don't like committing to something and then not following it through. My words are my world. So can we make an agreement that if I get off the plane on Friday morning and I'm exhausted and all I want to do is go to bed at 7 o'clock, so I'm so tired, that'll be okay with you, and I'll shoot you a text, I'll let you know, and then I'll take you out next week for your birthday. You're seeking an agreement. Is that okay with you? And then that person will either say yes or no, and then that's another whole conversation. So seeking agreements. When I used to give performance feedback back in my corporate days, the last question, and I got this from my mentor, I didn't come up with this, an amazing mentor I had. She's still CEO in doing amazing work in huge organizations. She was my mentor back then. I finished every performance feedback conversation with, was this fair and reasonable? Was this a fair and reasonable conversation? Or in any way, was this not a fair and reasonable conversation? She taught me that. And then I'm seeking an agreement that this was a fair and reasonable conversation. Create space for them to give feedback to you. So a cherishing conversation is not, this is what I want, this is what I need, I don't care what you want, and I don't care what you need. And I told you yesterday, I tell you the difference between an aggressive conversation and an assertive or courageous conversation. That's the difference. So we've all been on the other end, maybe both ends of an aggressive conversation. This is what I want, this is what I need, I don't care what you want, and I don't care what you need. The conversation's over. As I'm saying it, I was thinking often parent-child conversation, right? That may be a whole different thing. We're talking adult to adult. An assertive conversation is, this is what I want and this is what I need, but I really care about what you want and I really care about what you need. So please tell me, right? So we create that space for feedback. Okay, now this changed my world. Learning this, understanding this, realizing this, talking about this, passing this on to my clients changed my world. Even the situation I had yesterday, I could stop and remember everyone's the star of their own movie. Everyone is the center of their universe. Everyone's world revolves around them. Your world revolves around you. My world revolves around me. So this is a game changer. If you can always come back to this, oh my gosh, this person is just seeing the world through their lens and what this means for them. They're not really caring what it means for me. They're always going to put themselves first. And this is why when we cherish our heart and nurture our heart, we start with us. Me first. Me first. If I'm becoming the best version of me that I can possibly be, I am going to be such a better version of me for you. I am going to show up so much better for you. And then from there, we can create an us. Could you imagine if everyone on the planet worked on themselves first? Could you imagine if everyone on the planet worked on themselves first? I truly believe this is why the Sky High Coaching community is such a beautiful community, because everybody works on themselves first. So good. Right. To cherish ourselves, to cherish our hearts, to cherish our relationships. This is rounding it all out for you. Relationships are one of our greatest growth and transformation gifts. You will learn so much about yourself through the relationships you have in your life. You'll be triggered, you'll be activated, you'll feel every emotion, you'll be stretched, you'll be in love, then you'll be angry, then you'll be disappointed, then you'll be sad, then you'll grieve. You know, we grieve because we lose someone we love, then we fall in love again and we're happy. Like, they're mirrors, they mirror our things we don't like about ourselves back to us. Greatest gifts. Relationships are one of our greatest gifts we're given as human beings. Our entire lives are built on an ecosystem of relationships of which you are the epicenter. And I don't know why I couldn't get that little diamond thing the right size, but anyway. How you show up is a direct result of your energy, your emotional intelligence, and your courage. Do you let fear drive your conversations and emotions drive your reactions, or not? And courage is cultivated by elevating your self-worth. If you can become so sure, so strong, so happy with the essence of who you are and what you stand for, your values, your self-worth, your self-love, it's really hard to knock you off course. If you can go to bed at night and put your head on the pillow and be so proud of the things you did that day, of the way you showed up that day, even if you messed up, oops, I messed up, but I saw it and I recognized it. Yay me, pat myself on the back. I cleaned it up. Maybe I made a mess and I cleaned it up. This creates courage. This creates courage. We think we're craving more confidence. You're craving more courage. Courage creates confidence. And we are always operating from one of two states, love or fear. If you are not operating from love, and we all know what that feels like, butterflies and puppies and rainbows and chocolates and, champagne and winning prizes and beautiful people in our lives and self-love, if it's anything other than that, it's fear. I had in the salon at the moment, my group coaching program, we are all diving in. It's so much fun. I'm doing it too. Diving into that inner voice. And one of them, we talk nearly every day. One of them was we've got a private online space. We meet on Zoom, but we also have a private online space for in-between calls. And someone wrote yesterday or the day before, I get mixed up of which voice is mine and which voice is that we're calling it the frenemy. Which voice is the frenemy and which voice is mine? And I said, if it doesn't feel good, it's the frenemy. Because the essence of us is good. That's the essence of who we are. The essence of us is love. And if it's anything other than love to ourselves, towards others, it's the other. It's fear. So being able to recognize that, see it, the self-awareness. I want to acknowledge you for being here, and your future self thanks you. You are not the same person who logged into this masterclass, whether you were live or on the replay, excuse me, on day one. And if you've played along, you've had insights and aha moments. And if you've implemented the home play, you'll be seeing the world a different way. So beautiful. So beautiful. So if you are complete, if this has been wonderful for you, this was everything you desired, everything you wanted, thank you so much. There's so much here to work on, so much to do. I want to go and do the home play. I want to catch up. I'm feeling really good right now. Thank you for being here, and I will see you next time I see you. Mwah. If you are ready to embrace a life of more love, peace, courage, and dreams come true, and stop feeling invisible, misunderstood, unheard, fearful, frustrated, me yesterday, irritated, annoyed, right? I have 3 offers. And like I said at the beginning, 2 of them I've never offered before. Never offered before, and there's no guarantee I'm going to offer it again. So the first one is I'm about to launch for the second time. We ran it the first time last year, the Cosmic Heart. We're going to start on the 1st of March. We're going to spend a month together. The Cosmic Heart is an online experience designed to enhance every relationship in your life. You can read. I don't need to read this out for you. And we dive in more deeply to all of the foundations, the principles we've talked about over the last 3 days, but we go further. We go further. And I'm giving you all my best tools and techniques that I have in my toolbox for you to elevate the relationships you're in and create new ones, cultivate new ones in every area of your life. I love this program. It is such a beautiful program. And last year I encouraged everyone to set up a really beautiful space, set up an altar, come into the call we had candles and flowers, and we make it the most beautiful space that we can. So it's just full of love and nurture. So these are the components, I guess, if you like. We start with the self-loving heart, the core, the epicenter. The epicenter of all the love in your life starts with you. So we spend a lot of time working on cultivating, elevating, growing, deepening self-worth, self-love, because that's where this begins. That's where relationships begin. We then go into healing our hearts. So a healed heart learns to trust again. A healed heart forgives. A healed heart forgives themselves and others. And a healed heart doesn't take pain from past relationships into the next relationship. A healed heart doesn't take childhood wounds into their adult relationships. We focus on the emotional intelligent heart. So the emotionally intelligent heart has done the work, right? So this is where we look at the emotions that arise up in you, and we look at why they're coming up, what they're protecting you from, what they're trying to protect you from, why they're here, how they're stopping you, how they're holding you back, how they're affecting your relationships with yourself, with others, with your life. And we release them. We release you from the shackles. This is freedom. This is freedom. And someone actually wrote in their testimonial afterwards, I feel so free. And then we move into the expansive heart. Now, this is the magic. This is the energetics. The expansive heart understands that everything is consciousness and connection. And it understands that we are all connected via an invisible vibrational energetic string. And we have the power. You're more powerful than you know. Do you know you have enough energy in your body to power a major city for 24 hours? That's how much energy you have in your body. We are powerful. And the expansive heart understands that we can use this power for good, for beauty, for love, and we can unlock our hearts without fear, because we have become so rock solid in ourselves and so loving towards ourselves and others, and understanding that we're not responsible for anyone else's emotions and no one's responsible for ours, that we've got elevated emotional intelligence, that we are safe. We're always safe. And the minute you realize you're always safe, this is when the magic unfolds. It's when everything unlocks for you. Because if you're holding on to too much fear, well, then the universe protects you and doesn't send you the things you desire. But once we break free of all that, then the magic starts to flow in, and it's so good. So good. So I'll just give you a little bit of a snapshot of what some other beautiful souls have shared with me after working together on their cosmic heart. So this is Mads. Mads came to me, and I could really relate to this, and you might be able to relate to this too. What she said to me was, what everyone perceives my life to be is not how it feels. Everyone thinks I've got this amazing life. It doesn't feel that way. And she wrote afterwards, my professional and personal life satisfaction have reached a level I didn't even know existed. It has really helped me strengthen relationships with my family and friends and enjoy a real connection to my world and the life I'm living. This is beautiful Sidoni. She was going through quite a tough time in one of her relationships that was ending. And I walked with her through that. I walked beside her through that. And afterwards she said, my emotional intelligence has grown and external situations and people no longer have the ability to raise unwanted emotions in me. Like, amazing. Imagine that. I know I'm laughing more with my kids. Like, that is just, that just makes your heart sing, right? This is Belinda. Oh my God, look at her. She's so beautiful. She single mum, and she very high up in her career. And I told you about her the other day. She wanted to know why she reacted to things the way she did rather than responded. That was her whole aim of being here. And afterwards, she said, a deeper self-awareness renders me open to others' points of view, remaining quiet and still. Quiet and still. emotional intelligence, until the right words or course of action comes to me. She waits for the intelligent thinking to switch back on. I welcome opportunities to help me to reinforce or expand my perspective. Oh, how is that? And how's this? She emailed me last year. She was single, she was divorced and raising her kids. And she emailed me last year and said she'd met someone and they're in the most wonderful relationship. And I know they still are because I see her on Facebook. So, oh my gosh, I'm so happy for her. She worked hard. Linda worked hard. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. Ali lives in Dubai. She is in a relationship, no kids, they're not married, they massive careers, both of them work very, very, very hard, very long hours. So there was a lot of stress in their relationship and a lot of stress at work. And she wrote afterwards, by transforming my way of thinking, I've grown calmer, unlocked my personal power, and learned to set clear boundaries, both personally and professionally. Yeah, she wasn't great at that. I put myself first, because she would put her job first all the time. I put myself first and more focused on my dreams and intentions and have plans in place to achieve them. Oh my gosh, such beautiful women, such beautiful women. So here is offer number one, the Cosmic Heart. The full price of the Cosmic Heart is $2,222. But what I'm offering for those of you who came and joined us in Cherish is less than half price, $888 to spend a month together online, pretty much similar to this, a month together online, or you can pay in installments. I've got a payment plan, which is 3 times 326. So you do save a little bit more if you pay in full and upfront for 888. Now, this offer will expire this Friday, 17th of February, because I'm going to launch it to the rest of my community. This price is just yours. But when I launch it out into the community, this price will be gone because it'll be more. So, and I'm planning to do it around midday, Melbourne time, Australian Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I usually do a midday email on Friday and around midday, and that is when I will be I'll be launching the Cosmic Heart to everybody else. So that's less than half price. So I hope you're writing this down. Grab your piece of paper, grab your pen, because there's 3, so write them down. Now you can level up. This is one of the offers that I have never offered before. So you can level up so that you can just have the program, and it's a beautiful program, or you can level up and join the VIP, the Cosmic Heart VIP program. So what do you get if you become a VIP? Well, of course, you get the Cosmic Heart, valued at $2,222. Then I'm going to do 4 during the program. So the month of March, I'm going to do 4, we'll probably do them weekly, group coaching calls. So not like this, no PowerPoint, we'll be in a group. You will be coached. So you will come onto the call, we will converse, have a conversation, and you will be coached. So the value of that, a private client to work with me for a month are paying up to about $5,000 a month. So that's the value. Plus, I've got a little goodie pack. I have some nice little surprise goodies that I send out. Then my book, my journal, beautiful drink bottle, and that's valued at about $100. So the total value of the Cosmic Heart VIP is $7,322. What I'm offering, oh my gosh, less than half price, 3,600. Oh, this is all Australian dollars, I should say, all Australian dollars. So if you're working in a different currency, our currency is pretty low, right? So you're working in American dollars or pounds or euro, this is an absolute bargain. It's a bargain anyway, right? So less than half price, $3,660. Or again, I'm offering a payment plan so you can pay 3 installments of 1, 3, 2, 4 if you prefer to do that. Again, this will expire when I launch, because I will be launching this also out to the rest of the community at midday on Friday, and that price will increase. So this is your price until midday. Now, if you want even more, if you're really in this, if you're ready, if you're dedicated, if you're committed, because we only have dedicated and committed people into the salon. If you're ready to be inspired and inspire, if you're ready to be part of a really small, dynamic, ambitious professionals, we get together in the salon. We are basically talking every day. Right? We walk together. I do life with the salonis. We have a private online space. We are jumping in and out all the time. This happened to me today. I'm really challenged by it. Someone will help. This happened to me today. Woo, I want to celebrate. This is what I did. I did something differently. I felt that I'd transformed, or I used my courage. I called on my courage. This is what I did. This is what happened. I called on my courage and I fell flat on my face. That's okay. We're here. We'll pick you up. It's the most beautiful space. It's been running now for years, and I have women that enroll again and again and again and again because they love it. They love it so much. So if you wanted to join the salon, now this I have never done before, and the only reason I can do it this year is because I'm going overseas in June. Because usually this just rolls around. It never really stops, but it's going to stop mid-year because I'm going away. It might not even stop. They're probably still just going to hang out in the online. I won't shut down the online space, but the actual coaching calls will end. So for that time, anyway, I'm jumping around because I'm getting too excited. Be clear, Janelle. Okay, the salon. So what is this offer? You will get the Cosmic Heart, of course. You can also have the 4 weekly coaching calls, of course. You will get a goodie pack, of course. Plus, you will get the weekend intensive that's happening in March here in Victoria. You will get 3 months of the salon. I have never offered this before in my life. It has always been a 6-month minimum. Always been a 6-month minimum. And the only reason I'm offering this March, April, May is because I'm going away in June. So I can't see me ever offering this again. So this is your opportunity to come into the full price of the salon at the moment is $7,777. That's the full price. So you can come in for 3 months. That's the value. Have a play, have a taste. We transform in the salon. People are doing extraordinary things. And I'm also going to offer you a private coaching call with me. Just you and I, nobody else, 90 minutes. And I don't really offer those very often. So I put a value on that of about $1,500. It's actually priceless. So offer 3, the salon, the total value is $14,265. Way less than half price. So I'm offering it to you today for $5,555, or you can go into the payment plan and I can give you a 6-part payment plan. We're going for longer, right? Of $1,018. Now this offer expires at the end of February, because we'll start in March, and it's application only. So the salon is not click on a link, pay, and you're in. The salon it's more than that. It needs to be a certain type of person. So that's why I was saying earlier, you have to be committed. You have to show up to the 3 calls a month. We understand you can't get to every call. They are recorded. If you don't get to 1 or 2, they are recorded. We complete a weekly report. There's a weekly report posted by midnight every Sunday. So Monday morning, I read your report of what you've, so the report is about whether you did the things you said you would do that week. There's accountability in the salon. So at the beginning of the week, it's your individual vision. So you have your own individual vision of what you want to achieve in those 3 months or for the rest of the year, and you'll use this 3 months as a platform. Some people's is around careers, some people it's around love, some people it's around health, some people it's about a special project. Did I say career already? Looking for a new role or a promotion. As I said, Belinda came in and her vision was, I want to know why I react the way I react to certain people, events, and situations. That was her vision. It doesn't even have to be a tangible thing. And mostly what we're working on, if you stop and think about everything you've learned over the last 3 days, what do we work on the most? Emotional intelligence. Because everything is relationship. And so much of moving forward into something bigger, brighter, bolder than ever before takes courage. So that's what we do in the salon. So salon is a commitment. Normally it's a commitment for 6 months, but hey, how lucky are you? I'm offering it for 3 months. March, April, May, and this may never, ever, ever happen again. Hasn't happened in the 5 years the salon's been running, and I don't know that it will happen again. So over to you. Little bit of a recap, the 3 offers. You can join the Cosmic Heart online program. We're going to spend a month together online like this for $888, not $2,222. You can upgrade to VIP and have some coaching calls, 4 coaching calls with me in a group while that program's running. So it will be group coaching. But it means you can come in and we can discuss, you can come in with your questions, your queries, your situations. So you can come in and say, hey, you talked about forgiveness in the Cosmic Heart yesterday. This is where I'm struggling to forgive right now. Or you talked about being misunderstood in Cosmic Heart yesterday. This is where I feel really misunderstood, and I'd really love some coaching around this. Oh, you talked about trust. I'm really struggling to trust because of things that happened in my past. Can we have a conversation about that? And I will coach you. So that is, so adding on those 4 coaching calls and the little goodies, $3,660, less than half price again. Or if you, and that's a month. If you are really committed and you want to spend 3 months together and take it even further, go more deeply, dive more deeply, have more transformation, get to June this year being a completely different person, it's only 3 months, right? You'll be there. $5,555. So they're the offers. Over to you. So how do you jump on? If you're interested in the Cosmic Heart online program, email me or let me know you'd like a link. You can do it in the chat now. You can hit reply to one of my emails. There's so many ways to contact me. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. I hold no fear for you. You're an intelligent superhuman. You will know how to get in contact with me. So get in contact with me and request the link. Let me know if you want the link to full payment up front or the link to the part payment, because none of this is online yet, because I'm not launching it until Friday. So from Friday midday, you'll be able to just get on my website and click on the link, but the price isn't going to be the same. The investment will be higher. Now, same with the VIP. If you would like the coaching calls as well for a month, again, reach out to me. Tell me you'd like the link, which one, the pay in full up front or the part payment. If the salon, if you're all in, I'm all in, I'm going to take advantage of this. This may never come around again. I'm in. This is an opportunity. If this is for you, request an application form. You will fill in the form. It's online, doesn't take very well. It takes as long as you want it to. And then the beautiful thing about the application form is it's not just for me, it's also for you, because it helps you clarify exactly what you would want to do in the salon, exactly why you're coming in and what you want to leave with. So it really helps you get crystal clear on that too. The application form will come through to me. I will invite you into a conversation with me, and then we'll talk about whether this, if I think this could be the right place for you, I'll invite you in for a conversation. Could be on the phone, could be by Zoom, and then you can bring your questions and we will talk about, and we'll decide in that call together whether this is the right place for you. It's really important to me that the right people come into the salon, and it's really important for you that you're in the right place for your transformation too, for what you want to achieve. So that's the process. It's time for a prize draw. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Beautiful. Got a thank you and a goodbye. Ready? Are we ready? What are we going to do first? First, we're going to do the journal, the beautiful Sky Coaching Journal. Oh, it just feels so beautiful. You can write on both sides of the page. It's got beautiful paper inside. Michelle Barry has been the winner of the beautiful Sky Coaching Journal. Yay! Congratulations! Next one we'll do is my book, Become Extraordinary. So proud of my book. The Champagne Bucket of Abundance. Susan Fisher! Susan Fisher! You are the proud recipient of my book, Become Extraordinary. There we go. And I know you already have one, so I'm very happy for you to re-gift that to someone if you wish. You let me know. Oh, I didn't tell you what the next one was. The Sky High Coaching drink bottle, which is so beautiful. It's hot or cold. It's double walled insulated. Look at this. I love it. Like, it's got rubber, and then you just pop it in and do it up, and it can't leak. Takes me a long, I drive my providers crazy when I'm buying merchandise. It has to be perfect. The winner of the drink bottle is Beck. Beck K is the winner of the drink bottle. Congratulations. And I'm so happy because you're actually here right now. All right, drum roll, please. I can't do it. Can't do it. That whole drum roll. This is for the grand prize. Let me see. Catherine White. Ah! Catherine White, you are the winner of the package. So